It's Maria and Michelle.
Hey.
And we're here at my neck of the woods. Michelle's dropped into my place today for our little chat. And we started talking inside because we do talk a lot. So we thought if we got some of it done inside, then we could get some good bits on the outside. And today we thought that we would talk about letting go. Letting go of stuff, letting go of things that no longer are useful for us or that no longer serve us. And I know it's really challenging, especially for women, to let go of parts of their life, especially if it's something that's been a great memory or a great part in their life, and to move on from there and to sort of, you know, shove it away or get rid of it. It's a bit like getting rid of a part of who you are. So totally get how it's difficult. How do you find it? Like, what do you think?
Well, it's interesting because the reason we're talking about this today is because I've been doing a little bit of a detox at my place. I'm a bit of a hoarder, and whether you believe in, you know, like your zodiac signs, because I'm a Cancerian, so they're a little bit supposed to be a little bit of a hoarder. But also too, like, I'm not one of these people that's buying clothes every other day. I only buy things occasionally. They're usually fairly good quality, and I usually have to really like something to buy it. So I'll look at something and I'll think, well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason to get rid of it. But it's interesting because we change. So the person that I am now is not the same person that I was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And I was doing an online course recently, and there was a little webinar, a lunchtime webinar, and it was on detoxing and decluttering, or as the lady said, give your house an enema. And I thought that's really quite interesting because I've actually been feeling lately like I was ready to just let go of some stuff. And as you know, I do love doing all my courses and personal development and things like that. So I think as we grow within ourselves and things, then well, also our bodies, like the cells that are constantly turning over. So the Michelle that's sitting here right now, these cells are totally different.
Just want to make sure that you're the right Michelle.
Yeah. Okay. Are totally different to 40 years ago. So I was looking in my wardrobe, and there was a time when Maria and I, we used to do quite a lot of workshops and presentations together, and I quite often would wear black pants and a shirt. So I've probably got half a dozen shirts, a couple of pairs of black pants, and they're really good quality, look great, and I've just kept them there. And even though I never wear them, like they're just sitting there.
Michelle's waiting for them to do a cycle of 40 years and come back into fashion, right?
Perhaps. But I went into my wardrobe the other day and I actually looked at these items and I felt no connection to them at all. And I realised I would never want to put that on my body ever again. So I'm going to start going through my wardrobe, and I'm actually going to start letting go of things, which actually surprised me.
Oh my God, that is so cool.
I know, and because I also too, we've lived in the same home for 17 years, whereas Maria, how many places have you lived in?
Oh, we change houses like we change our underwear.
And Maria's partner Paul is very much one that doesn't like to hang on to things. So sometimes Maria will say, because we actually had a business together many years ago, and actually I've got something to show you. Hang on a second.
Look, I know what she's going to show you, and I'm saying to her, we don't really need to see that, but I said to her, I'm going to leave that into your hands. If you feel, and okay, come on then, bring it on.
So,
here we go.
Here's a little blast from the past.
Oh, there's Maria, and there's Michelle.
Hello.
And we're in style, hence Maria and Michelle. Oh my God.
How funny is that?
That's bizarre. That's too cute.
I found that in the front room. I was detoxing my front cupboard, and I just thought, so we had that business
14 years ago.
And it's funny because Maria had because we, as image consultants, we used to do colour and style and stuff, and Maria had her set of things and I had my set of things. Anyway, one day Maria rang me and she said, oh Michelle, I've had someone that's one of my big coaching clients has asked me if I can help her with her presentation, and I can't find my colour swatches anywhere. Can you find yours? Of course Michelle can, because she stores everything forever. So I went and got mine. Maria says to me, she goes, well, I don't know where mine are. I think the last time we moved, I think Paul threw them all out.
Far out.
And so
Bloody Paul.
throwing things out and detoxing can be a good thing, but sometimes it's good to hang on to things. Well, that's my point of view. Anyway.
Oh my God.
But anyway, when I found that, I thought that was pretty funny. And I nearly did throw it out a couple of...
Lucky you hoarded that, because that's a memory,
Well, it is
Michelle.
kind of a good memory, isn't it?
We
But
had great time.
maybe it is time to biff it, throw it away.
Look,
We'll see.
I know. Look, you can hear the rain in the background, so hopefully this the audio is okay on this. I have got a microphone that we're talking into, so we'll just talk a little bit louder in case. But I just have to share a story about decluttering and getting rid of things out of our life. Paul is he's very minimalistic. He doesn't like a lot of stuff, whereas I'm a bit like Michelle. I collect, especially when it's business stuff and things that I've accumulated over the years.
So there are resources that you can perhaps refer back to, so that's valuable.
Absolutely,
Potentially.
absolutely. I mean, I did a presentation just the weekend gone by, or last weekend, and I pulled out information of things that I wrote and I'd used 25 years ago in business. So for me, I love it. I love hoarding all that stuff. But what Paul did was he decided to get the carpets clean because I work away at the moment, and so he rang me, and I said, oh yeah, that's great, good on you. And then he rang me again, and he said, well,
What did he find under the couch?
he said it took me 2 hours to move all the furniture and clean that, and it took me 4 hours to clean all your stuff and move it. So he's moved my desk that I had at front of my window in my bedroom, because I have an office, but I like my desk looking out at the trees. And I was so upset because I thought, I know what he's like. He'll just chuck things out. So when I got home after not seeing him for a week, it was like I was really quiet and I was peeved, and he knew, and he just turned around and he said to me, well, I didn't chuck anything out if that's what you're upset about. But now I have to go and reorganise all of my stuff, which I had already done, and it was great. And now I've had to, but they're things that I won't chuck out because they're important for me. However, there are things that I know need to go, and namely my wardrobe, because it's been a long time, and I think some of it just reminds me of the clothes I used to be able to fit in, and I just hold them in case I lose weight enough to fit in them again.
Oh dear.
But you're right.
That's a common thing, isn't it? Like,
We're not the same. We're not the same. That
energetically, we're not the same people.
And I think women, like especially women, as you mature. And a new lease of life, and you go through the change of life, and you go through all these different things in your life that grow you. You just realise, I think, one day that things that you were holding on to aren't so important, but you do realise that in a flick of a second, and then you do that max clean out because you've just realised that you need to get rid of crap, and that's what you do.
Well, and from an energetic perspective, by letting go of the things that no longer serve you, you're actually opening up the space for new experiences, new people,
New clothes,
more clients, more clothes. But that leads to another thing, like, have you been to the shops lately? My goodness, it's so, well, it can be quite challenging when you're a curvy woman over a certain age to find things that enhance your body, that enhance your unique shape, that you feel good in, that you're not trying to look like you're 16, and you don't want to look like your nana. And I don't know what it is this season, but the clothes don't suit my figure at all. I'm going to have to go and find somewhere else to go shopping, I think.
When Michelle and I had the Image and Style business, we had a salon as well. So we had a complete service, which was fantastic. But Michelle was always, I remember so clearly, she was so articulate with the colours and the coding, and making sure that what you wore was complementary to how you look, to your colouring, and to your personality as well. And we've got a little bird singing over there who's obviously in agreement. And
it's very cute.
yeah, it's very cute. So, you know, there are ways that we can confidently try to move on in our life, because when we hold on to the past and we hold on to stuff that keeps us connected to where we once were, Michelle's right. We don't allow the opportunity for the future to come into our life, because we're hell bent on hanging on to what we remembered was fantastic. And I see it, I don't know about you, but I see it a lot with the women that I work with, in sort of them trying to move forward. It's really hard because they're stuck in a space in the past that gives them comfort and gives them. So how do you think? How would you sort of suggest that we can move from that space, you know, without too much anxiety or too much stress? Do we do it slowly? Do we just go chuck and just get rid of it?
I think everybody is different. Some people, they can come to a decision and hang on a sec, a little cough, little tickle in my throat.
My
Must
mum
be having
used-
to let go of something. There you go.
My mum would say, look at the bird up there so you don't choke.
Oh, there you go. So I know, and I think it just depends on your nature. So for someone like myself, little slow, little incremental steps, but I think you can just start by just sitting down and just perhaps writing a little list of, you know, what's important to you now, and just, yeah, I suppose getting honest with yourself. What's a contribution? What's going to be a contribution to you? And just make a list and make a little plan. And remember when we used to do what we did wardrobe audits. So sometimes people weren't ready to let go of their things. So what we would do was we'd package them up and put them in a garbage bag. And so you've got to pop that up on the top shelf. And if you haven't gone into it within the next 3 months, you just take it out, don't unwrap it, just drop it off at the bin straight away. So I think it depends on your personality as well. You can't, you've got to be gentle with people. You can't force them to just...
No, and you've got to look, and you've got to honour how
You've got to
you
be-
are as a person. And I think another way too, which I know has worked for me sometimes, is whatever it is that you're not letting go of, whatever it is that an item or something, maybe just write it down, write down what the item is, and then right next to it why you don't want to let it go. Like, why is it hard for you to move on from that? And then next to that, just pretend and say, well, if I did let it go, then what new thing could possibly come into my life, or what new thing could I possibly get? And I think attract, yeah. So something for maybe a really favourite outfit that you've had hanging in your wardrobe, like, not mentioning any names, for, you know, like years and years, and you know, by holding on to it, why do you hold on to it? I mean, okay, let's do that as an example. So that shirt, the one in that photo, I know you've still got that.
I do still
She
have that
still
shirt.
has that
I do
shirt,
still
and it
have
was
that
very,
shirt.
very beautiful. So, okay, so why do you feel you have to hold on to it? What is it that makes you hold on to that?
What makes me hold on to that is, despite having had the training now, so I do know what actually suits my body, is when I go to the shops, there's not very often I see things that suit my body. So it's kind of like, well, I'll hang on to that, because, you know, if I do have to go out somewhere and that's appropriate, at least I know I've got something that suits me, because I find it challenging to actually find things that I like and that I want to buy. So, I mean, yeah, it's not so much an emotional attachment to that one. I feel it's more of a practical,
Okay, so
practical attachment. It's a bit vintage.
it
Like,
is
it's
a
little
bit
bit different. It's a little bit different. It's like if you've got an old, like, you know, things like old T-shirts, you know, old bras and knickers that you've had, like the wires hanging out and whatever, you know, get
I
rid of
got some of
those.
those.
But you might have a really beautiful leather jacket. Excuse me. I must be detoxing today.
Jeez, Michelle,
Not
don't
wanting
pass
to
it
let,
on to
must be
me.
letting go of something, love.
God. Well, I hope it's not a cold, because I ain't going to get it.
No.
No.
So I think, you know, different things for different reasons. You know, sometimes it can be emotional, sometimes it can be practical.
And I think that serves us in everywhere. It's not just our wardrobes, it could be in our work, it could be even our jobs. I mean,
And another thing is too is people.
and people.
That
yeah.
can be, that's probably the hardest thing,
Yeah.
is if there's someone in your life that you know is not
Toxic. Let's just use the right word. That isn't serving
energy
you,
vampire.
sucking all your energy, all your good stuff. That
Because
just
when those people come over to your, whenever you're in their presence, and when they leave, you feel drained and blur. And quite often they're people that they come over, they dump all of their whatever on you, and you
you
give
then
and
are
give
so
and give and give.
totally
You
drained.
just let them, and off they go. And you go, oh God, So yeah, energetically, and like sometimes people have got, you go, but we've been friends forever. But if they're not a contribution to you, then sometimes you got to look at your relationships, and that can be a hard one for people.
Yeah, and I think it's just about, and we talk about it, and I know I talk about it all the time, it's just about setting up the rules that are important for you. And if you are wanting to be around people that make you laugh and you have fun with, and you're happy, and they
Well, it's a giving and receive.
Yeah.
So it's a mutual contribution. The relationship is balanced.
yeah
It's
yeah,
not just one person giving, and the other
Yeah.
one taking.
yeah.
It's that there's a give and receive. It's a contribution to one another.
Yeah. So just to recap, I'm looking at the time.
there.
I've got to
I
wind
thought I was
it
going
up.
to do the little windy up. Yeah.
So just to recap, so letting go of stuff in our life, and that served us, brought great memories. We know, was important to us at one point. Why should we let it go? And if we do let it go, what are the new things that could possibly come into our life? The other thing is, people. Are you surrounding yourself with the people that are making you the best of who you are, that are not only giving and sharing, there's a contribution both ways, so that you feel that the relationship is equally balanced. And I think that comes with age as well, doesn't it? As we get older,
so,
we tend to sort of are easier to remove.
I think by the time you get to 50, I
know
I know
your
for
shit.
me, it was kind of like, this is my body, this is who I am, and you just become more accepting. Whereas,
When you're younger, you do want to fit in, and you
fit
sort of
in
go
quickly.
along with everything. So, look, we're going to leave it there because we've chatted so much, but we thought we might, in the next episode, maybe just show you some tricks about how we used to shop with colour, so that it might give you an indication, and it might encourage you to get rid of some of the clothes maybe that you have in your wardrobe, if you have a little bit of an idea of what you need to do.
yeah.
So,
Sounds good.
that's awesome. And I'm sorry about the noise and the background, but we are in a more noisy area of the woods. And until the next episode, it's bye from Maria and bye from Michelle.
See ya.
See you next time. Bye.